Hello, gentlemen. Sorry it took me a second. I was a little bit behind the times. How we doing? Utah Jazz 119-111 over the Detroit Pistons without really some of our key pieces. Obviously, Larry Markkinen missing. It's great. It's great. Now, the biggest thing is all right. So the biggest things that we took away from here, Kelly Olynyk can score the basketball. 10 and 16 from the field, 3 of 6 from the 3 point line, 4 of 4 from the 3 throw line for his highest point total of this season is crazy. He did have 4 turnovers, but he had 6 assists, so it relatively balances out. You know what I'm saying? John Collins got a start, but was incredibly inefficient. 4 of 12 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3 point range, but he did go 5 of 5 from the free throw line. 9 boards overall, 13 points. Taking what you said. Boys, sorry I missed yesterday. No, you good, man. It was an abbreviated live. It was an abbreviated live. Plus we lost. This one we won. I knew Kelly could do that. I've been waiting all year. He did this all the time last year. Kelly Lee scored. Yeah. He did also get 4 steals, so it kind of bounced out his turnovers if we're being realistic. He also has 6 boards to add, 3 offensive, 3 defensive. Walker Kessler coming off the bench was interesting. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Walker because I also haven't looked into the reports recently to see if he's like dealing with something or if they're just planning on doing something with him. That being said, 20 minutes, 2 of 3 from the field, only 3 shot attempts, but he had 10 boards, 5 offensive, 5 defensive, and he had 4 blocks. So I mean, can't really beat that, man. Ochai off the bench gave us 18 and 2, 7 of 12 from the field. 7 of 12 from the field and 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. Hit both of his free throws. Love that for him. Taylor Hendricks got 16 minutes of action, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3-point range, 7 points, 4 boards overall, 3 of them being offensive, which is not something that you would see often. And then, of course, he mixed in a block there just to make things a little bit more spicy. Luka Somanic, 0 of 5 from the field in 10 minutes. He was shooting, though. He was shooting. It just was not falling. He did go 2 of 2 from the free throw line, though. Giving him 2 points to go along with 5 boards. That said, we also moving forward to Chris Dunn. 5 of 11 from the field, 45.5%. That's good. Missed both of his threes, though. Did end up going 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Had 5 boards and 10 assists to go along with 2 steals, a block, and only 1 turnover. So, I mean, pretty solid, all things considered. And then, of course, that brings us up to my lovely individual, Colin Sexton, who did not shoot particularly well from the field today. 6 of 18 from the field, not very good. Similarly to everything else. Now, 1 of 3 from 3, 6 boards. Six of 6 from the free throw line. He had 4 boards, 3 of them being offensive, actually, and 8 assists. He did have 3 turnovers, though, which is the highest he's had in any of his starts. This, by and large, I would argue, is probably the weakest start he's had so far from an efficiency standpoint overall. And then the fact that he did end up having the most turnovers. Obviously, it's not drastically different, right? He hits 3 more shots, and we're talking about how he was shooting 50% from the field. But he didn't, which is why we have to equally give him criticism. But he did have 4 steals, so that's also something that's key. But with that being said and left behind us, you have, let's see. Which I always said. I like seeing Ochai dunk that thing, so I thought, yeah, absolutely. Not necessarily Kelly Olynyk being leading all scores, but closer to like 20 points and more shot attempts. Fair. Yeah, that's fair. Taylor Hendricks buzzer beater. Yes, sir. 6 people going double digits. really really went by committee tonight for long stretches. Yeah, and that's definitely not bad. That's pretty good. When you can rely on people to all collectively put together buckets so the team can win games, that's also really good. Because it's not something that you see often, especially in the NBA the way it is today. It's an all-star driven league. So one guy gives you 30, another guy gives you 15, another guy gives you 10, and then everybody else sprinkles in 2 and 4. If you can get a bunch of guys in double figures, then you feel a lot better about your chances of winning. And really, no matter who has the ball in their hands, you feel like they're a threat to score, which makes things a little bit more unanimous in the way that you attack, and it allows you to do a lot of different things, especially when you have like bad shooting nights like what Colin Sexton had tonight. It was covered up by the simple fact that everybody else had pretty solid shooting splits. Obviously, Luka didn't have the best shooting, but his was in a small sample size of minutes, anyways. Let's see. The announcer mentioned we are 6-0 with 6 double-digit scores, so I think today makes 7. Well, there you go. There you go. Always good to get a Jazz win. Absolutely, Monty. Second time this season, Abaji played awesome on second night of a back-to-back. His conditioning is different. I would have to agree with you there because he gets after it. He gets after it. You can't teach effort. You can't teach hustle. Those two things, you either have it or you don't. You either choose to have it or you don't. Either you practice and make sure you're well conditioned, or you skip reps and you're just not well conditioned. Obviously, Ochai is the best example of quite simply getting the job done when you need to get it done. Despite outscoring the Pistons 34-32 in the first quarter, I actually thought it was our worst quarter. Well, on what ground I'll say, because I might low-key agree with you. Abaji went off in the second quarter, being the first one to light that fire, while Kelly Olynyk was solid all game. Yep. See them getting all the paint points. That's where I thought you were going to go with it. Okay. Yeah, we're in agreement then. Yeah. I mean, we started the game with John Collins as a center. We know John Collins is not a shot blocker. Out of the starters, Chris Dunn and Collins both had 1 block. Off the bench, Walker Kessler had 4, and Taylor Hendricks had 1. So, start comparison naturally, but yeah, the paint was the weakness. Which by default, yeah, I would also agree. He said, I once again love that Dunn, Abaji, Kessler, Hendricks lineup. Yeah. Slot in Lowry and it's perfect. Fair. Can't argue with it. Like Chris Dunn. Mm-hmm. Yet we are still tied, but if we had held them to even 5 of 8, then that gives us an extra 4 points with them. Exactly. That's it, They pulled it out. I low-key forgot that Marvin Bagley was on the Pistons. I love Marvin Bagley. I know it's just like a random thing to say out of nowhere, but I love Marvin Bagley, man. Alec Burks is still in the league. I know he's not that old, but him playing 8.5 minutes today, I didn't even realize he was on the court. Let's see. Who really did damage for them? Isaiah Stewart had the highest box plus minus for them at +12. Marvin Bagley was second with a +6, playing 32 and 30 minutes respectively. Marvin Bagley was 10 of 12 from the field, missed the 1 3 he took, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 22 points. Really low on the rebound count for somebody that played 30 minutes at the center spot, but can't argue with 22 points because I know where they came, at the rim. He said it's weirdly a real pressure game. It would have been a terrible loss because I'm pretty sure we sat Lowry and felt comfortable doing that because this is a game that, in theory, you win comfortably, even if you're the Utah Jazz. It shouldn't be one where it's like a nail biter down to the final minute. And like just looking at the game score, seeing we're only ahead 4 with like 4 minutes to go, and it keeps like teetering. It's like, bro, this is a 2-possession game. This is not good. The Pistons, now to their credit, I'll say this. Us without our leading scorer and with Colin Sexton shooting poorly, did make things a little bit difficult for us. That said, also, the Detroit Pistons are a very hungry team. They need a win. And when you look at the Utah Jazz on the road and you're the Detroit Pistons, that's one of those games where you're like, I need this. Now that said, we didn't expect this whole thing to happen, but it made for a I don't even know if I would call this a quality win. I would say we kind of, for some of us, it was quality. Like for Ochai, it's a quality game to be a part of. But for some of the others of the team, it wasn't exactly perfect. Now that said, mixing and matching the lineup so consistently, no THT today. Throw in there, Chris Dunn finally getting a start. Oh my God, I forgot to say that at the beginning. Chris Dunn started a game and had a double double. I don't know why I forgot. It's just interesting all around. We said Bagley got 10 points in the first 6 minutes. Believable. Ivy down the stretch was horrible. Yeah. He was 9 of 16 overall in the game though. But the 5 turnovers is egregious. 5 turnovers for him. Cade Cunningham had 6. Glaring issues. I said UK fan of hoops. I like some of the players on the Jazz. Is it safe to go to Utah to watch them? I know they have a shaky history because of the Mormon stuff. One day I'd like to watch them. Let's see. Because of the Mormon stuff. I would say that by and large, me personally, obviously having never visited Utah, my general understanding as an American that is closer, obviously, to it, I would say that it's a pretty safe place to go. I don't hear very many like issues with things. Like I know sometimes Utah gets painted as because there's like Mormons and there's a lot of like religiously specific things going on that sometimes they might not have the same balance where it's like, oh, everybody's super inclusive, and like a lot of times they make it seem like the fans are just throwing out inward slurs at the players all the time, and that's just quite frankly not the case. It's every now and then, of course, but that happens with just heated fans anywhere. It just gets blown out of proportions because there's the highest population of Mormons is in Utah. That said, I wouldn't be concerned going to Utah one bit. I personally plan at some point, hopefully this season, going to Utah to see a game. If not this season, definitely next season, seeing some games, just depending on like how my pockets end up looking around March time. But yeah, if you're in the UK and you have the money to come to go to Utah and catch a game, bro, go to Utah and catch a game. Absolutely. Catch a good game, but catch a game. Absolutely. Pistons lack depth. Somehow they have so much talent. Just coaching seems to be underutilizing the lineups they can have. I would agree with that. I expected a tight game. The money was only like negative 1.5 for a reason. Yeah. I kind of should understand that as well. You said Utah is the safest state in the U.S. LOL. Yeah, arguably so. I can't think of maybe one of the Dakotas because it got less people in it. Maybe. Poor Johnny Juzang had to be an emergency flight. Did he really? That's crazy. Also, has anyone from the Jazz game sealed their fate as a trade candidate in your opinion? Going back to my video that I made, I would have to say that John Collins is probably out of here unless they literally can't find anybody to take his contract, because we're not going to act like he's a terrible player, but for the money he's supposed to be getting paid, he's underperforming what they expected him to do. That said, he does provide shooting touch, and worst case scenario, pull him off the bench. He seems to be comfortable coming off the bench. He doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fight. I know he doesn't like it. I would assume he seems like he's one of those guys that has a lot of energy, but like he has ego, but it's put in a box because he's not a superstar, so to speak. So I don't think that he's a cancer in the locker room if he comes off the bench, but I know that he deserves the opportunity to be successful. And somebody in the short that I posted today in that comment section said to send him to the Mavericks, because that guy was, I guess, a Mavericks fan and he wanted to see Luka and Collins. He said it would be a great duo to see, and that's interesting to say. Obviously they're doing a lot better this year than a lot of people expect them to, even myself included. They do have Kyrie. They have Luka. They have younger pieces. They have Lively. Is that their center? I think they have Lively at the center spot. Like they have a young front court. So I could see that working. I wouldn't trade much for him, honestly, but it would be interesting. It would be interesting. That said, aside from him, Clarkson has to go. If not just because of his poor shooting splits, it definitely has to be because he just hasn't been given the opportunity to be successful, if that makes sense. And he's the difference between this year's player we're seeing in him and last year's is the simple fact that he just doesn't have the ability to be himself a lot. We need him to play make more. We need him to do all these things. He doesn't have the same table setter that Mike Conley was. And so he looks bad. Like he looks worse than he should, realistically. That combined with the fact that he's a fan favorite makes people not really want to give him up, but at the same time understanding he is objectively by all metrics making the Jazz lose games in games that he starts. And that's something that I ignored the fact for like the first 5 to 7-ish games because he won the game against the Clippers. Had a great bucket at the end of the overtime period. Got a stop on Kawhi freaking Leonard, right? So it kind of covered up some of the mistakes he was making, but there was so many games where he shot equal to or more field goals than Lowry did and was hitting significantly less. For example, I was looking at the numbers earlier today for the video I'm going to drop tomorrow about Colin Sexton, and Clarkson shoots, 30% from the field right now and 29.5% from three-point range. Now, he does that on 15.1 attempts from the field and 5.2 attempts from three-point range. Lowry shoots 48% from the field and 38% from three, scores 23.5 points while taking 15.1 shot attempts and 6.6 three-pointers. I can excuse efficiency to a certain extent, but not to that much. And when I saw Lowry's numbers in comparison to Clarkson, it really put things into perspective for me. Because obviously, Sexton, despite playing well enough over the past 6 starts that he's had, it's not the exact same as per se. It's not the same. You can't make that complete comparison because Sexton just hasn't had 19 games where he started. So I don't want to sit there and say, oh, well, Sexton is shooting 50% from the field in his starts to Clarkson's 30. And that's not fair to Clarkson because Clarkson has had a lot to do on his plate. But that also speaks to the simple fact that we haven't been doing enough to put him in positions to succeed. And he also hasn't been able to make the most out of the positions that he has had to succeed. So with that in mind, I would probably say him being traded is definitely that next guy. How much more? Not gonna lie, my heart hurts for Pistons fans. I'm glad we won, but they're bittersweet wins for me to see the Pistons fans so dejected. Yeah, because they really Pistons fans stayed in the building because they thought this was the one. They thought this was the one they were gonna get, and they didn't get to have it. So I can understand. I was a Bobcats and a Hornets fan. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Constantly feeling like Kemba Walker is better than Kyle Lowry, but constantly seeing the Raptors beat the Bobcats and then the Hornets by 6 and 8 points. Yeah, I've been there. James said, agree, bro. I was rooting for the Pistons down the stretch, not gonna lie. I feel you. North Dakota's really safe. Used to be there. See, I knew. Because you have a heart if you're a Jazz fan. My perfect world would be Jazz win last night, lose tonight. Exactly. I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be mad at that. Especially no Lowry. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. Imagine we get the Olynyk that played today alongside Clarkson. He would definitely perform better, or he should in theory. I'm not going to sit there and put that on him, but I would assume that he would play better. The question of Kelly Olynyk, how do you feel knowing the losing streak didn't end with you tonight? That's crazy. That's a crazy question. That's an insane question. Knowing that the losing streak didn't end with you tonight. If you play for the Jets, you should be happy because it's going to put more ash on your. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's a crazy question to ask. hoping at some point we try to run a few plays for Hendricks specifically. He's shown some impressive flashes. Yeah. I want to see the two-way ability out of Hendricks that I know he has. I know he has a two-way ability. I know he has Kawhi Leonard-esque peak. I'm not saying he could be as good as Kawhi Leonard. I'm not saying that. But I'm also not saying that he can't be. I would say his peak is probably Kawhi. Like if 10 years down the line he was better than Kawhi, I would be surprised. But if he turned into somebody that was relatively equal to Kawhi is right now, minus the health issues, obviously, I wouldn't be mad or surprised. Yesterday he motivated that Sam Merrill kid. I blame her for the loss. Oh, that's crazy. That pissed me off, and I couldn't care less about the Pistons. I care about Pistons fans, but the team not so much. Maybe I'm just sad, but I love all NBA fans. They want all fans to be happy. That's understandable, Lee. That's understandable. Not really what's the you shut your mouth. That's just disrespectful. Yeah, that is low-key. Not Lakers fans. So we're supposed to be a break from reality. What break do you get when your team that you love disappoints so much? Yeah. Couldn't tell why they were chanting. It sounded like the sound of like SLC, but I'm like, that can't be right. Turns out they were saying sell the team. Yeah. Also, why my heart goes out to the Hornets. I just want everyone to be happy in sports fandom. Maybe I'm a minority. I don't know. No, I understand, Lee. Tate and even Lakers fans, minus the celebs making millions. Yes, the genuine Lakers fans. Like the Lakers fans where when you show them a picture of that Lakers roster when it was complete hot dog water. Who was that? 16, was that 16, 17? 15, 16, 16, 17? When they were like hot dog water. Like if you showed those players to any regular casual NBA fan, they have no idea who it is. If you show that to one of those Laker fans and they actually know who those players are, that's a real fan right there. Like you had to love the Lakers to watch basketball then, because they were not anywhere close to the golden age. They were terrible. Like, and that was me at the time. I was a Hornets fan. I felt comfortable playing the Lakers then. I'm pretty sure we lost most of those games, but still, like, if you were a Lakers fan at that point, I'm not gonna lie, I got respect for you because that was crazy. Back with Nick Young, yes, sir. Yep. Swaggy P was really the only one in that lineup that I really knew for real. I'm not lying. Like, who was the center with the dreads? He was brown skin, not dark, but like brown skin, I guess. I don't remember. I remember seeing him. I remember even playing against him when I used to play 2K back in the day. But like, that was it. That was it. He was on the Lakers during that period. Like almost shoulder length dreads. For reference, he was not a good basketball player. For reference, he was not a good. It might have been low key. It might have been low key. It might have been Jordan. It might have been. It was rough, bro. It was rough. Anybody that was a Lakers fan back then, good stuff. Good stuff. Even if you're making millions, you don't need a break from reality. I don't know if I would say that. I would say it's warranted that you have less of one, though, because you can buy breaks. You can buy experiences. In my opinion, of course. But I don't know. Let's see the change. Sell the team. Oh, they chanted that. Okay. Sell the team. Maybe they should sell the team. The owner is failing them. Low key. But don't move out of Detroit. Nah, the Detroit people, they need something there. And I like this Pistons are all they have. I like Kendricks a lot. Kind of sucks when we're fully healthy because Taylor doesn't get much minutes. Yeah, so we got to soak in what we can get out of him right now. I'm concerned if they do sell the team. I'm actually worried they would move the team low key, and I feel horrible for those fans. Realistically, Detroit, the reason the fans just have that, like that's all they have. So them leaving would be very unfortunate, all things considered. Like that city as a whole. I'm not saying that's what is it? That's not a terrible city. I'm lying. It's pretty rough city to live in and raise children in. I'll say that. So if the Pistons are the bright spot, like your shining star, the worst thing that can happen is them getting moved. Because then you're just in a city that's like rough, right? Like apparently St. Louis is like really, really bad crime rise and specifically violent crime. But the reason why like they had the Rams and the Rams moved, um, it's not great stuff. It's not great stuff. It said, oh, back when Nick Young, yeah, Vegas was Drummond. Yeah, they had Clarkson, Young, and D'Lo. Maybe not needing a break from reality is the wrong wording, but you don't need a sports team to supply the break. Fair, yeah. There you got the lines of the NFL. Realistically, yeah, it's ballpark the same. The lineup that popped up to my mind, I had to pull it up. It was back when they had Jordan Clark, when the Lakers actually had Jordan Clarkson. Because I remember one time they had Clarkson, they had Wayne Ellington, right? Wayne Ellington was low key tough. I'm not gonna lie. I used him in 2K. That's how I found out he was tough. Then they had Ryan Kelly, they had Tariq Black, and Robert, bro. That was a nasty five. That was terrible. But goodness, that was basketball back then. That was basketball back then. That's really all I got. Man, it's crazy stuff. Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. He said, "Yeah, the Lions." Oh boy, yeah. But looking real quick, just to do a quick like cover of what is it? Maybe the Pistons make a trade with some of the Lions players to improve the roster. What could we possibly get from the Lakers for Clarkson? Because I'm sure that rumor will resurface. Let me pull up the Lakers team real quick. Lakers. No LeBron James. Jared Vanderbilt really wouldn't save our situation. Neither would Jackson Hayes or Christian Wood or Austin Reeves or Torian Prince or Deal. This is nasty. I'll take Rui. They won't give him up, but Rui, I guess. I'll trade him straight up. We do like 3 first round picks if they only had those to give. I love Vanderbilt. I was pissed when you traded him. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that one, Tatum. Yeet. And every time that I'm with you, girl. Trade us Bronny. LeBron would come with him. Man, that would be a dream. That would be a dream. That would be great. Probably 2 years. That'd probably be a great 2 years. Like LeBron, it's crazy to sit there and say that like LeBron will be productive at the age of 41. Like not just productive, not bench, not 6-man productive. Like people will be sitting at lunch tables in their friend groups talking about how LeBron James is still top 10, arguably. That's crazy. But I love that. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yep. If you could get Bronny in the draft, extort the Lakers for him. I don't think it would take much. LeBron said he was going to play his last years with Bronny, so come on, quit playing. Bring him here. Bring Go James. Just one time. Give me 1 year, LeBron. I do a lot with 1 year, LeBron. LeBron and Lowry and Colin Sexton. You remember when Colin Sexton got drafted and he was like, "Yo, LeBron, I can't wait to play with you," and then LeBron literally left. Nothing killed me as much as watching that. Draft Bronny at 1, literally just to get LeBron. I feel like there's a team that would low key do it. I'm saying if LeBron was serious, he said the Pistons can get LeBron James. That would low key save them. That would low key save them. Had a couple root canals today. I'm gonna hop off and get some sleep. I'll message you on the Instagram in the morning, bro. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'll catch you in the morning, Lee. Yes, sir. Good night. Now, with that being said, what if in the most insane GOAT move ever, the Pistons draft Bronny, LeBron goes to the Pistons, and the Pistons are trash. Remember, the Pistons are terrible. But LeBron, alongside that Pistons team, he takes them to the playoffs. No new additions, no all-star add-ons, just him, Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Stewart, Jaden Ivey, Bogdanovich off the bench. Just goes insane. You know how crazy that would be? You know what Tayton said, ceiling LeBron as the GOAT. Because MJ could never. Like imagine how impossible that task is. Hold on. Let's not even talk about him actually doing it. Let's talk about how impossible that task is. I'm looking at these players right now and I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing playoff caliber yet. But like if LeBron could do that, let's say he wins them a playoff series. Forget the finals. Because we're so used to LeBron taking teams to the finals where when he doesn't go to the finals, we're like, is he falling off? Like, imagine LeBron James actually going there. That would be insanity. Mind-boggling. That would be insanity. But I don't know. I'm a little excited about it anyway, so I'm overthinking it. I'm just saying that would make a good video though. I don't know how I would make that video though. I was thinking about it. Clickbait title: LeBron James to the Pistons. Hey, listen. That would be insane. That would. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That would be a crazy video for the other channel. So you know how this is my Utah Jazz channel specifically now, and I'm gonna do the second channel that's just like NBA teams, like one video a week. What if I beat Jimmy High Roller to it? What if I have Sachin create a crazy graphic and it just really makes it pop? LeBron James going to the Detroit Pistons, and how it could happen, and what we could potentially see happening, and who these Piston starters look like in comparison to LeBron James' old teammates. How crazy would that be? You think I touch 1 million views with that? I doubt it. But wishful thinking, right? Wishful thinking. I had y'all for a second. Somebody in the chat, I had y'all seen the vision. He said, go catch some Z's. About to. That would get some views. I think so. Heck, if I was a Pistons fan, I'd sell my left kidney to draft Bronny just to get LeBron. Bro, side note, Jimmy High Roller is so good at what he does, man. I could never be Jimmy High Roller. I'm just me. But shout out to Jimmy though. Jimmy's a goat. Jimmy's like, he is arguably the LeBron James of this particular NBA niche of basketball content, because he's not just somebody that does really well at certain things. Like, he has a good amount of graphics, but he also has a good amount of visuals. He also has a great speaking voice. Like, I have a smooth speaking voice, but sometimes my videos, let's face it, I mean, if I posted less frequently, I think I would be able to smooth things out like Jimmy does. But with mine, I post so frequently, it's just there's ebbs and flows, you know what I'm saying, with how I'm feeling. But with Jimmy, it's just like smooth. With his visuals, smooth. With the data, not too much, not too little, smooth. It's different. Side note, 2 of our past 3 videos have hit 2K, y'all, and our Fontecchio video hit 3K. Great numbers, by the way. But yeah, man, it's just 2,000, 2,000, 1,400, 3,000 Fontecchio. That's now my the craziest thing about the Fontecchio video was, like, it was one of my worst videos coming out, like the first 3 days, and then like out of nowhere it just boomed, which is crazy. Heck, if I was with fans, I saw. Nice, bro. Sweet dreams. Murthy, you going to bed, bro? Good night, bro. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's really, really interesting. I forgot the Pistons have Joe Harris. Joe Harris just died. They have Kevin Knox and Killian Hayes too. Huh. There's a whole lot of interesting pieces on the Pistons roster. They just never have a direction. They never have that key guy. If the Pistons have that guy, they'll be perfect. If they have that guy, they will make the playoffs eventually. But they just don't know. The guy keeps changing. Right now it's Cade Cunningham. And in this game, he was pretty solid overall. 28 points off 10 of 22 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. But he also had 6 turnovers, right? That said, you can't argue with the success that he's had numbers wise. You said Italians always showing up late. It was nice though. It was nice because they really showed up. And one of them was telling me that they needed a new video update on them. So I have to fit. I'm debating on whether or not I want because I recorded a Colin Sexton video, but it doesn't include obviously tonight's stats. But I don't think I want to put in tonight's stats because he didn't shoot well. So what I'm probably gonna do is as soon as I hop off here, take like 30 minutes, edit my video. It's gonna be like 8-ish, 10, 8-ish, 9-ish minutes, I think. Because I have 11 minutes of footage and like there's a few gaps. But it'll probably be like 8, 9 minutes of footage. I'm gonna send it to Sachi tonight because it's 12 p.m. for him. It's almost 1 p.m. for him because he's in India right now. So what I'm gonna end up doing most likely is sending it his way so that he can go ahead and get to cooking on it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I might record a second one for Fontecchio specifically, just to like even it out, if that makes sense. And then I have to do a THT one as well, even though he didn't play today. THT still deserves one. Chris Dunn played good, but if Chris Dunn gets to start next game and does really well, I'll make a not a clickbait video, but like a when will he get his chance? Chris Dunn edition kind of thing. That said, what should I make the first video on my main channel be? Anybody got any suggestions? Because like it's gonna be a general NBA content space, but I was wondering if anybody had any suggestions for a title, whether it be for the Jazz or just another team. Because I'm currently I'm up in the air about it. Because I might do it about the Lowry sweepstakes, or I was gonna do one that was gonna be like it was gonna be the title I was actually thinking of when I first created the idea for it was gonna be I miss Rudy, talking about Rudy Gobert and the numbers that he put up with the Utah Jazz. Then the first season, which was kind of piss poor on the Timberwolves. It wasn't piss poor, it was just like underwhelming because it wasn't a bad season. It was just mid. And then this season where he's like up here, and then alongside the help of Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards taking that next step, he's already taken the next step like 2 times. He did it again. Like crazy. Said Chet versus Wemby. Side note, Chet is definitely the rookie of the year. Bar anything crazy happening the rest of the season, Chet is the rookie of the year. I understand he's been in the league for a year and he's had like the year of preparation like Ben Simmons did, but Chet is still built like a light pole. He's built like the arm that's holding my mic right now. He's bony, but he really got that bag for real. He got some moves, and he's not a pushover on defense like I thought he would be either. Mm-hmm. Yep. What if I actually quit trolling and I actually do the video about LeBron James potentially going to the Pistons? I might do it. I might be that guy just to get ahead of everybody because somebody's going to do it. That's the thing. I know somebody else has had that idea before. It's not a super popular idea, but it is an idea. That'd be tough. So I saw a post by the NBA 2 weeks ago. I think I sent it to you, where the NBA posted that Jokic was leading the NBA in points, rebounds, and assists. Yes, yeah. You did send it to me. Yep, crazy to think about, but it's a fact. It's a fact for sure. And on that same day, NBA posted something about the NBA showed Embiid passing Jokic in the MVP race. Like, how do you post someone leading in basically every statistical category and getting passed? Here's the thing about Embiid. They're calling him a foul baiting merchant. But hold on. You know what? We're gonna do a quick deep dive real quick. Since we're only 45 minutes into here and we don't really have much time left. There's only 7 of us in here vibing out, so why not? Why not, bro? What's it called? What percentage? I should have went on Stats Muse first. What percentage of Embiid's shots come? Bless you. Thank you. Welcome. Come at the rim. This is from a year ago. I don't need that. I'm going to pull up Stats Muse. Forget it. Stats Muse. Percent of Embiid shots Prospect usually has his over under at 10.5 free throws made. That's insane. How do you share your screen? I need to figure out how to share my screen on lives, because that's the next step for me personally. Being monetized is crazy now, because it gives me the notification when everybody's about to get hit with an ad. I like that though. But it was like it has conservative and it has aggressive, which is insane. Because I think conservative and aggressive is like defense. Like, how are you playing defense? It's like, do you want conservative ads or do you want aggressive ads? I'm like, why would I want to assault people with ads? But then I thought there are people that do that. If you have a fan base big enough, one assault is crazy. But no, I'm pretty sure like 2 or 3 ads. Okay, so here we go. Shout out to Stats Muse for giving me the numbers to eat. So Joel Embiid has shot 54.1% of his shots overall. And 33%. What does that mean? Joel Embiid has shot 54.1%, 283 out of 523 overall. Okay, I'm guessing those are at the rim. And then 33.3% of his shots, or the 26 out of 78 from 3 in 24 games this season. So I have a shot chart here, and a lot of his shots do actually high-key come at the rim. That said, what percent of Embiid shots inside of 10 feet? $64. That's not help. That's not what I'm asking. They cook Embiid pretty bad, Tate. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so it doesn't tell us what percentage of his shots come in each shot selected area. But right now, from the numbers I'm looking at right now, he shoots 64.7% inside of 10 feet. The league average is 59.5. 141. He's made 141 out of 218 shots within 10 feet. That said, he's taken no 3-pointers from the what's it called? Visualizing basketball court from the right corner. He's taken 2 from the left corner, none from the right corner. That's crazy to think about, actually. Most of his shots come within a straight line of the basket. I can make a crazy video about really anybody. The numbers just start flowing, bro. I might be acoustic. That's a bad joke. Embiid is good. I hate the guy because of the court. Everybody was clowning Embiid. You remember that one time he lost in the playoffs and everybody was like getting on him for it? I'm not gonna lie. I much prefer that Embiid to a lot of other players that lose and just off. Because that means he actually tried. I mean, who would cry over a performance that they didn't mean to make? Just me though. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. It's interesting stuff. Oof. All right, so should I make my video about THT or Fontecchio first? Uh-oh. Hold on. I can do polls on here. This is so awesome. Techio. Which vid should I drop first? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Boop. That's fire. That's fire. Jokic is a more likable guy. Yeah, because Jokic is just crazy gentleman. Like, he doesn't care so much and he just shrugs his shoulders at literally everything. It's hilarious watching him do stuff. Because he's like, brother, I don't care. I don't care. He just has like that chill, like, is it the cool uncle vibe? I don't even think of that. It's just he just got a chill energy about him. Side note, I started a weight loss journey. I reached the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I was 242. I hated looking in the mirror, dog. Now I am 230. 231, excuse me. Let me not lie. I'm gonna get there. Not yet, but I'm gonna get there. Okay, so I'm right now, obviously I'm lifting and I'm working out a little bit more. I'm eating significantly less. I'm not going out to eat. Like, this Sonic is like the first like going out thing I've had in forever. Low key. Like, it's been a good week. But I'm just trying to cut things back, get back into playing shape and feel comfortable. Because me and my boys are gonna do a little tournament next Saturday. One of my guys set us up for one. So I'm gonna go to the gym actually in like 6 hours with my one guy. We're gonna hoop for a bit, get some chemistry between us, because me and him, we played together vaguely, but not long enough. And then we have a tournament next Saturday. So trying to get in shape, get some conditioning good, get conditioned, conditioning, and then just like be healthier, because I'm 23 and I step on the scale and it's one of those fancy scales where it sends like the metrics to your phone. And it's like, I have the metabolism of a 25-year-old. I'm like, bro, I'm 23. Dang. I'm just like, got to do something about it. Got to do something. This man Jokic compared to Embiid, their journeys are so different. I just like Jokic more. He's worked harder. I don't know. They're similar in the fact of Embiid's upbringing obviously has not been golden, right? We can't sugarcoat it and act like the country he lived in was a first world country, because it wasn't. But once his potential was recognized, in a sense, it opened doors for him. I don't know. They're both interesting. They're both interesting. Yeah, Logic. We had that. I thought you knew this. Yeah, man. Oh, you meant in the league. Oh, yeah. In the league, it definitely looks like Jokic just so much more. I'm not gonna lie. Jokic would like be yo. I remember back in the day because it feels as though like Jokic just randomly became good out of nowhere. He's always been a pretty solid player. It's just his team was finally good enough around him for him to be really successful, which is crazy to think about because we're just sitting here and in my head I'm just like, where has Jokic been? And he's been here this whole time. I don't know. It's just me. Dang, Fontecchio video first? I guess Fontecchio's coming first. Okay. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. Yep. Don't shake me but one bit. Shoulder rolls. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick, boys. Huzzah. Taking this video you just sent me got me dying. 60th pick and MVP back to back. Hey, not too shabby. Jokic do be moving awkward though. Jokic do be like he's got a weird herky jerk type vibe to his game. So I remember us being in the same age group and not the same. Oh, yeah, man. Yep. Big 2-3. We're also the same age as what's his name? He just dropped a video talking about how he was doing better and how he was battling drug addiction. Rusty Buckets. Rusty Buckets is also 23. I don't know how 23 he is. I know that really it makes sense, but he's 23 as well. Indeed. Fontecchio vid dropping first. That's what we heard. That's what they saying. Allegedly, of course. Oh, my back is on fire. Womp womp. All right, but closing on the hour. With that being said, any other quick topics, quick questions, anything like that before we join the court session for today? Court session. I don't know why I just said that. Anybody with free time, as a matter of fact, I'm about to hop over to my other channel. Speaking of which, it's called Cole Wraith IRL. I'm about to hop over to that one and go live while I just throw together some ideas for videos and stuff. If anybody wants to chat over there, just so I don't make this live stream too long, because I know some people come just to hear about the Jazz and everything. What do you think is fair value for marketing and that Ainge will accept? I would say it has to be. So from the reports, it's saying like either 5 first-round picks or a mixture of players with great promise plus picks. So there's not going to be any meaningless people thrown in there. So that means we have to either get a good point guard, right? It has to be a good point guard, a small forward that can score, a scoring forward with decent defense, or draft picks, first rounders. Obviously, the team that has the most for us is, yeah, I saw that team. The one that really has the most opportunities is going to end up being the what do you call it? My brain just quit on me. The Thunder. The Thunder. A slow moment. The Thunder would have to be the team that has the biggest opportunity for success. I don't know how realistic it is long term that they actually do go ahead and pull the trigger on that, and how much we're willing to do that. You said Giddy, Poku, and 4 first. I think Ainge would low key take that. The problem that I take with it is the fact that Lowry is like literally professing his love for the Utah Jazz fandom, saying, "Hey, don't trade me. I don't want to go anywhere." And Ainge is like, "You're gonna go where I tell you, boy." It's crazy. I don't know. Man. What's up, Dallin? Said the hall has too big. The hall is too big. He's outperforming his position in points by a long shot. He's averaging 8 points higher than per 36 than the average forward. Yeah. Danny wants to have all 30 picks in one season. That would be crazy. Imagine having like all first round picks. That would be absolutely nasty. When is the Sexton video coming out? So I'm not gonna lie to you. I have this hold on. Can I find the video? If I have this video here, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Hold on. Can the camera see it? I don't know if it's gonna focus on the phone. Focus on the phone. I was out last night, yo. Like, did I do a live last night? Was that why? Or was I editing something? Either way, like I was out cold. So that's why the Colin Sexton video didn't get finished, because I just literally died on the couch. But I have it recorded. I just need to finish editing it. I have it pulled up in the background. So as soon as I hop off here, that's the first thing I'm doing. No, I didn't fall asleep on stream though. That's why I was like, I died. Like I was gone. It was night for me. For sure. He said, "Do you think that they will trade Collins?" Yes, I believe they will. If they don't, he's going to end up starting to come off the bench. But I think the only person that's more likely to get traded than John Collins is probably going to be Jordan Clarkson. And the Rockets are the heaviest chatters for him, actually. You're going to be saying Collins and marketing to Pistons for Bogdan, Ivy, and picks. I'm pretty sure the Pistons would gladly take it. I don't think that for some reason I just don't feel like that's enough, though. I just don't feel like that's enough. Post stream now this time. Absolutely not. Ivy and Keontae would cook. I don't know. You think so? The live was short last night because tonight was another game. That's what it was, yeah. And there just wasn't really much to talk about last night. It was a pretty open and shut case. We need Lowry. I think we do. We need one guard that can average 20 to 25 on decent efficiency. How do I make your top 5 favorite commenters? I don't know, Monty. Just be yourself, man. Just be yourself, Monty. Okay, Monty, what does your name mean, by the way? I've been meaning to ask you this for the longest time. Monty owes a ribeye. Like a ribeye steak? Giddy and new senior scenery would be good. Yeah, most definitely. Josh Giddy has like the most generic like bag of all time, but it's hilarious because it's the most generic bag of all time. I don't know. Ew. Sorry, the Cardi B was getting to me. I don't know why. He said Monty send him money. I like money too. I do. But now we're making money off video. So if y'all get hit with an ad, just remember I'm making. Oh, I can talk to you guys about money now. Oh, it's crazy. Hang on, y'all. I'm about to. I'm about to own it. I'm about to. Yeah. Sorry, my brain just auto folded. That said, where's the video? Okay, so for the Utah Jazz video, that one that I just dropped that got 2K, I've earned $12.99 from it for 2,000 views. Obviously, it's not great, but it's still better than it was. It's better than it was. You said how much money got a lot. He said, "I don't buy love." That's real. Monty's talking to it. Honestly, get that money. That's real. Monty spitting. Yeah, really, the best thing you can do to support any content creators, watch their videos. Like, especially now that I'm monetized, like before the donations were, I mean, the donations are still big. Don't get it twisted. I'll never turn down a donation. Lee's asleep right now, but Lee almost made me do something strange for a piece of change. Because, man, Lee was buying basketballs left and right. Anytime I streamed, I was sitting there getting hit with. Lee bought 5 basketballs. For those that don't know, basketball is like $5 on the Buy Me a Coffee link. So he would be like, Lee, bought you 5 basketballs. Like, Lee, where you get $25 from, twin? Calm down. Does your son have the food that he needs to eat tonight? But Lee actually does coding. So, yo, Lee got that Mayan. Speaking of which, let me pull up Lee's channel on a side tab. I need to look at Lee's stuff. At React to NBA, the number 2. He still only has 8 subs. His first video did better than the second one. His first video, What's Wrong with the Utah Jazz, has 50 views. His second one has 29. Utah Jazz are disappointing. I'm gonna get Lee in contact with my brother. My brother makes thumbnails. Why did I not do that before? Did I do that already? No, I told Dink. That's who I told. Dink hasn't been in here recently. Where is Dink at? I'm gonna have Lee touch base with my brother to get him some thumbnails. I think his thumbnails will improve his clickability. It'll definitely get him some more views. He'll probably hit 100 soon. That said, let me jump back on read here. If you're Ainge, what are you doing? Would I take Giddy? Can Giddy play alongside Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler and not be mediocre? I might make that move. I'm not gonna lie. Tackle taking slowly, Pickford. Bro, tell Lee to hit the gritty. Yo, Alpha Cubert, you're crazy. Sorry, kid, Santa can't make it this year. Spent all the money on basketballs. Yo, Lee's a coder, so Lee got that Mayan, man. Lee got this year. Spent all the money on basketballs. Yo, Lee's a coder, so Lee got that Mayan, man. Lee has that fettuccine Alfredo. I don't, obviously. I work 7 days a week, so and I'm still poor. I still don't have my car back. I was supposed to call the guy about my car today. Yeah. Slip the mind. What do you think about Case and Wallace? I just have a pretty positive outlook on him. I would say I'm probably not as high on him as most people are, but um I don't look at it too negatively, to be quite honest with you. Staying away from Giddy. Literally, okay, the only thing if the Jazz got Giddy, the memes would go even crazier than they already do. Because then they would be like following in his father's footsteps, and then have him alongside Mr. Big and Strong himself. Be like, bro, for real, be for real. But it's not even the same thing. I think Giddy is better suited to be next to a guy like Keontae. Interesting. I can see it. Giddy has such a very generic and basic bag. It's weird to watch, honestly, but it works for him. So I mean, it can only cook on it so much, you know. My video made $12. Way to go! Dang, for that Jazz video, advertisers were paying $13.88 for each 1,000 views I got. And because of that, I got 55% of it, which was $6.72 a piece. That's cute. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Mucho respect, comrade. Looking forward. 78 cents from my Lowry marketing video. Okay. I see the vision. What about my Funtechio one? That got me 25 cents. Okay. Yeah. I'm a comedian sometimes, I swear. Where are we at? We said, give YouTube some more time. You won't have to work 7 days a week. Soon. As long as I can if I drop 3 vids a week, now that I'm making money, and each of them hit 2K, that's probably $50 between all 3 videos together, in theory. Oh yeah, Tyson. I'm actually about to switch to my other channel, as a matter of fact. He said, right, already did that joke. We already have enough white guys. Yeah. I can get that other $13 playing on repeat tonight. Yes, sir. You still streaming? Yes, sir. Absolutely. Is Taylor underwhelming in your opinion? Taylor Hendricks hasn't had the opportunity to completely Taylor Hendricks hasn't done. He's not done. He just hasn't had enough opportunities to be himself specifically in their system. There's still, I don't think they were ready to pull him up, but because of injuries, they had to pull him up. And then he got to show flashes of what he is. And they were like, oh, shoot, maybe we can, while everybody's injured, try and find out what we can do with him. And so they're still kind of plugging and playing him right now. So he hasn't had a consistent run where it's going to be like, this is Taylor. This is who he is. This is his role. This is what we can expect from him going forward. And I think once that happens, then we can like truly who he is as a player and what he can potentially be. So I wouldn't quite say he's underwhelming yet. If he never got injured in the beginning of the season and then he was playing like this, I would say kind of, because he is the 9th overall pick and everything. What would you want from marketing besides Giddy from OKC? How many first round picks and what other player? What other player? Give me Chet. Give me Chet Holmgren. No, I'm playing. They would never give that up. I don't know. Because like I feel like Ainge would literally take 4 first round picks plus Giddy and call it a day. And I don't want that because Josh Giddey will never be as good as Lowry is, and no all-stars really want to stay in Utah. So you find Lowry, he ends up being better than you thought he was going to be. And then, like, now look at how Lowry's playing. You could have almost said trade Lowry for Donovan straight up. or Lowry with like an extra first rounder. But they paid highway robbery. We got Sexton, Lowry, and picks for just Donovan Mitchell. And it's like, now he's going to try and flip him again. And in my head, I'm like, bro, Danny, I know you like draft picks and everything, but hear me out. Lowry wants to stay with your team. He's literally sitting there getting interviewed and saying he wants to stay. Most guys keep their cards close to their sleeve and just wait to see how things play out. He literally just comes out and says, I like it here. I want to stay here. My family's here. We're good here. And then Danny's like, pass. Why? Like, I understand you can get stuff back for him. And if you don't really have a true direction, you might want to make that move. But I just feel like Lowry is one of those rare situations where, like, he's, in my eyes, he has no playmaking. So he will always and forever be the number 2 option on a contending team. So now that just tells me we have a number 2 option and he's only 26. So that gives me 5-ish years to fiddle around and find a number 1. I don't think it takes the Jazz 5 years to find a number 1 and develop that number 1 and allow him to be a number 1. That's just me, though. I understand if you don't think you're going to find a number 1 in 5 years, go ahead and trade him. That makes sense. It'll hurt me, but it'll make sense. You know? But it's hard to find a guy that's going to be a star, that's going to be really good at basketball, and he wants to stay in Utah. We have one right now. So we have him, and eventually we draft somebody that really wants to win games, and he's really good at the game of basketball. Put him alongside Lowry. Let Lowry know he's the 2 and the new guy's the 1. Win a lot of games, and that guy says, you know what, Lowry? I see why you like staying in Utah. I think we can win here. And then he buys in. Boom. Problem solved. But what do I know? I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that's as dark as a couch he's sitting on. Yep. That's a crazy joke. Hold on. He's worth 4 to 5 picks for us. But for us, he's more than that. Because he wants to play in Utah, so he's worth more like 7 or 8, but no one will pay 7 or 8 because he's not worth that for them. Exactly. Bingo. You reckon Ainge should blow it up again? I prefer he doesn't. Yes, Cleveland trade was amazing for the Jazz. I don't think the Jazz need more picks unless it comes with a good young player. Need another Spider soon? Yeah. Absolutely. We need... I want Colin Sexton to be so much better than he is. It's crazy. Not to say that Colin Sexton is bad. Hold on, let me backtrack that real quick because he's been pretty good. But like this game, if he has enough of these games, he looks expendable. He was 6 of 18 today, 1 to 3 from 3. Not bad numbers, but on 18 shots, you want him to hit like 9-ish, 8 or 9-ish. And it's like I want him to be that number 2 scoring punch, but we need somebody to be the number 1 scoring punch. We need a guy that's going to allow Lowry to be a number 2. And I'm wondering if Keontae George is that guy, or if it's and how long it's really going to take him to become that guy. Because I think Keontae was a good pick. That said, I don't know how long it's going to take him to have his shot making translate. And that's the biggest thing for him. Allowing his shot making skill to translate to wins and to efficiency, because right now he's not shooting particularly well from the field. His last 3 games I think that he played, he shot pretty well, excluding obviously the last one where he played 4 minutes, but I don't know. Pistons made Kelly look like prime Dirk. Yes, Donald, he did. Any chance we could get Spider in free agency? I don't know, though. I don't know if he would want to come back. Now, if he did, that would be tough, but I don't think he would want to. It also depends on the terms in which they traded him away. Keontae and Kessler will be double locks? I think so. 10 points, 10 assists, and 10 points, 10 rebounds. Yeah. Yeah, double locks. Yeah, I can see that. Sexton was better than Garland, but never took that next step. Yeah. Sexton was always the better scorer. It was never debatable, in my eyes, personally. Like, from a numbers standpoint, watching the games, he just looked to be the better guy. But he's not a point guard. And because he's short, he kind of has to be a point guard. But my thing is, if you score efficiently enough, you can be a shooting guard. But Colin Sexton also can't afford to be not attentive on the defensive side of the ball, or else he looks like somebody that's just not trying, and he can't get away with not trying because he's short. So if he doesn't try, he's getting cooked. He's not like, Lowry or Ochai or even Jordan Clarkson sometimes, where they're just longer players, so they can get weak contests, but it looks like they're contesting harder because they're just longer players. He doesn't get afforded that luxury, so he has to be a ball of fire at all times, or else he looks kind of expendable. Yeah, no, Spider. I would love him to come back, but he won't. Yeah, I feel so. We can give him the most money, I reckon. Yeah, he spoke about it. He said the team had no contact with him. He was at a golf course in Miami when he found out. Yeah, he's not coming back. No way I'm coming back after that one. You trade me and I find out on the news? Absolutely not. I don't care. I don't care how much you said you love me before. If a trade package came up and you just decided to take it, it is what it is, right? You can't change it. It is what it is. But at the moment in which you decide not to tell your all-star player, hey, man, I love you, but we got to do what's best for the team. And right now we're going to go into a rebuild. Because of that, you're getting the dish. You're getting dished out, brother. I'm sorry. But with that being said, we're sending you to Cleveland. They're going to pay you. They're going to treat you well. You're going to be a star of that team alongside Isaac Okoro. They have Jared Allen. They have Darius Garland. So you got a lot of young talent to win games with. But your days in Utah, you will always be recognized as a Utah Jazz legend. But this is as far as we go. Simple like that. Would he love it? Of course not. But it would be more of a personal interaction instead of like it's like they went in the store and said, "Oh, Cleveland wants him." Swipe. Like, bro, what? That's not right. That's not fair. I understand it's a business. I get it. Okay. But just because it's a business doesn't mean you don't have to have a certain level of connection, because there is a connection there. It's sports, bro. People sit on their couches after having a terrible week, a terrible day, whatever the case may be, and they watch the game because all their problems disappear. The fact that rent's due in 2 days doesn't matter. The fact that their wife just got into an argument with them doesn't matter. The fact that they're getting yelled at by their boss and friends at work, their friends at work, doesn't matter because they're watching the game, bro. But, it's a business. It's $1 million business, $1 billion business. I understand. Mm-hmm. Great guy for the team, but he steps up anymore. Yeah, I think Sexton's ceiling is 18 to 24 points a night, 45% shooting. 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Maybe, I'll say 4 assists. 4 assists is realistic. 4 assists, 2 turnovers. You said Ainge is ruthless? Yeah. It's a money-making business, man. And that's something I got to just accept for being what it is. It's just the tough reality of the world we live in, unfortunately. You said Keontae has been a bright spot. Honestly, started hating on Clarkson. OD. He takes the dumbest shots I've seen. Yeah. Clarkson Utah Jazz days are kind of cooked, I'm not going to lie. Honesty is always the best policy when dealing with your players. Exactly. Like you don't have to sugarcoat it and be like, "Oh man, I tried to keep you, but we couldn't keep you." Yo, you don't have to do that. But a simple, "Hey man, we decided to make this move. We feel like it's time to go ahead and blow up the team. We think you guys have reached your end. I love and appreciate everything you've done for the city, for the state, for just the general area, and for me personally, as a part of the management structure that you've helped pave the way for and paid the bills of. But it's time for us to go ahead and move on, brother." Something simple like that. It's not crazy to ask for that, I don't think. I think it's pretty simple. To me at least. I don't know. Maybe it's crazy to ask for. Oh, it looks like everybody wants the THT video first. I reckon with the new CBA. I can see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. We can convince free agents to sign with us and have a chance. We pay them significantly more. Yeah, that's the general idea, and it does make sense, of course. It remains to be seen these days, at least. These days, at least. Um, but yeah, man. With that being said, any more thoughts, questions, anything like that? If not, I'm about to hop over to my work on my other channel, Brain Blast. Some ideas. Anybody wants to see? I'm gonna go live on that one. Talk about some stuff. Edit a video. Probably be awake for the next hour and a half, honestly. How about giving us your odds on which player the Jazz trade by the deadline? If not trade Lowry, which should the Jazz do? Clarkson, Collins, and maybe THT. I thought THT should have definitely got traded before, but seeing him start right now, he looks really good. That said, what's his name? Chris Dunn looked really good tonight. Well, not really, really good, but like he looked solid. He looks solid. It's double in your first start of the season where you finally get minutes. It's tough. It's tough. So, but Clarkson, Collins, ship him out. Olenek, I have an emotional attachment to Olenek. Even looking at it objectively, all right, like biases aside, he's okay. He's a pretty decent distributor. He's pretty foul prone. He's not terrible on defense like we thought he would be, but he's probably like the thing that makes him useful is his playmaking sense. So until we have the playmaker ability, the playmaking ability, I would say hold off. I would say don't force anything. He said, "I agree with you on Chris Dunn, best game he's had in a long time." Yeah, and it's not. It's to me, it's always been something that he's capable of doing. Now, admittedly, he did put up a double on one of the worst teams in the league. I get it. I understand they're trash, but at the end of the day, it's still an NBA team, and he's still Chris Dunn. He still plays significant minutes, still put together things early and often, right? I don't. One thing is, shooting might get harder against tougher teams, but passing the ball is not hard. Everybody's not going to have their hands in the passing lane. Everybody's not great defensively. Not everybody's locked in defensively, especially as the game goes on. You start making mental errors and having issues. So to me, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. But yeah, man. I reckon our needs time to understand we're going to be bad another year or two. I would say this is the most dysfunctional year we see. Next year, definitely going to be faster coming out the hole. Right, first 5 games of the season definitely are going to look worse. He said, "Thanks for tonight's stream. Your hard work is appreciated." Ravens. I appreciate you, man. I'm pretty sure you don't have YouTube Premium, so you probably got hit with 2 ads. I think I set the thing to conservative. So if you got hit with 2 ads, or if you YouTube Premium too, that's cool. But if you got hit with 2 ads, that's my I probably only made realistically like 25 cents from this stream, but that's 25 cents I didn't have before I hopped on here. Think about it. So yeah, I appreciate it though, 100%, because you don't have to spend your day with me, but you do. Now, of course, obviously, I provide a service, and I guess your view counts as the payment for said service. But nevertheless, I appreciate it in all seriousness. Sending Lowry for Scoot plus picks? Absolutely not. I can't. I was a Scoot lover, but like he is looking like a worse Colin Sexton. Realistically, Colin Sexton with no drip. He's got goggles. Not to say that goggles are terrible, but like it's hard to make goggles look good on a player. And when you have goggles and you can't get a bucket, it looks bad. Respectfully, of course. Respectfully, of course. But it is what it is. Kareem was tough with him. He was probably because he was also bald though, and he looked like type old. Like people was getting done up by old men back in the day. Dudes was 24 with bald spots in the center of their heads, like low cropped afros, like Aki bills, like super lean with those nasty knee pads. Like it was a different time. It was a different time for real. Yeah, those were good days though. Those were good days. But yeah, I definitely let this video go a little bit longer than I meant for it to. That said, do you like? Let's see. They all had the THT build. Danger, yo, for your first comment, that's a banger. That's a banker first comment. Yes, sir, absolutely. He said, "Do you like snow?" Yeah, I'm originally from New York, so I like snow. I reckon Ricketts a good team to trade with. The Rockets. Oh yeah. They're the ones most interested in Clarkson because they need a scoring option. I think they're like bottom 7 in scoring efficiency or something, and they're hoping that Clarkson can help fix those issues, which I could see. That said, I'm about to hop on my other channel. Hold on, I'm about to drop the before I send this. Hold on. Clarkson inefficient, not with us, but off the bench, he might be able to be efficient somewhere else. I think a change of scenery is needed for him to return to his former glory. That's the channel I'm about to switch to stream just so that I don't have this particular content getting affected. Obviously, I'm not monetized on that channel, but it's just anybody that wanted to chat about mundane things or things that don't matter at all. We can do that. But yeah. With that being said, thanks for tuning in this video. Leave a like so that more people get to see it. And with that being said, good morning, good evening, good night. Whenever you're on the globe watching, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh yeah, Merry Christmas to you.